Welcome to McCormick Outdoors. This is the first show, and hopefully there'll be a lot of shows to come. But we want to do something a little special for this one. So what we're doing is motorcycle camping. It's me and my son, and we come down to, it's called John's Mountain the Pocket campground. It's real nice, secluded, remote. There's no water or power in the campground, in the campsites themselves. There is, if you go around, there's some water spigots, and there's actually some bathrooms on back up here. And anyway, I grew up coming here, and so did he. And so we figured for the first show, we'd come down here. And so we're going to do a little camping tonight, and then in the morning we'll show you what all we got, and how we loaded it all onto the bikes, and how we got everything set up. And unfortunately for me, you'll see in just a second, for the first time in many years, I'm tent camping. I've got 2 bad knees and a bad back. Don't know how this is going to go. So it's going to be interesting. So maybe I'll make it through the night okay. Maybe I won't. So anyway, be back in just a second, and we'll take a quick look around the campsite. Then I'll introduce you to my son. And before we get on to anything else, you can also go check out more of what's going on here tonight on his channel, which is Bug Out Baggers, which is a reference to the motorcycles. Mine's actually a cruiser, but his is a bagger, so hence the name. Anyway, we'll be back in just a minute. Okay, guys, we're back. I was telling you a minute ago about my son. This is JD McCormick. JD, say hello.
Hey, I'm JD. I'm going to be filming also. My YouTube channel is going to be Bug Out Baggers. Sort of a little bit of a play on words. Anyway, I'm going to be riding on the Harley Ultra Classic and Harley Road Glide. I'm going to be packing shit. Going to be doing some camping. Going to be having some fun. So if you want to tag along and see how it goes and get some ideas for your trips, or what to pack, what not to pack, and maybe even some product reviews, follow along.
And guys, you're actually going to be shocked at some of the stuff that we brought around on this trip. It's things that you would not think to put on a motorcycle. Okay, so now we're taking a look. Like I said, we came in on the bikes. So to see more about that, you can check out my son's YouTube channel that he's getting started. It's called Bug Out Baggers. Mine's not a bagger, but his is. So anyway, hence the name, Bug Out Baggers. So take a look around the campsite. Now this is going to be interesting. I have not done any tent camping in years and years because my knees and my back got bad. So trying to get in and out of that little thing tonight, I don't know how it's going to go. We'll find out. Then back over here, right down through there is a creek, but there's a tree that's fallen down. We'll see if we can't clean that up a little bit in the morning so we can get back here and show you the creek. It's not very far. It's only, maybe 50 yards from us. And then you can hear the kids and everything playing off in the background down there where I said the bridges were at. So anyway, we'll be back here in just a few minutes whenever I decide to get some food going. Hey guys, well, it's time to fix a little food. And unfortunately, as you can see, there's smoke going past the camera right now. JD's over here at the fire trying to get it up and going. And we're doing things a little bit different tonight. He's going all out. He brought the stuff. He's making a homemade beef stew. Well, I went simple. For me, I got a can of Denny Moore chicken and dumplings. So what we're going to do is we're going to heat that up, we're going to eat it, and we're going to call it supper. So let's get it on and get it going. Hey, we got the little camp stove going. This thing is great. You can pick them up at Walmart. They're not very expensive. They're perfect for doing what we're doing today, coming out on the motorcycles. They take up no space at all, and they actually fit into a little bitty tiny bag. This right here, the little tank on it, it doesn't take up any space either. Standard little camp pot, not much to it. I got the chicken and dumplings going, and it's not going to take too long to get these things heated up on here. So we'll have a nice, warm, hearty meal, and hopefully it'll be good. I don't know. You never know. So, but anytime that you're outside, it seems like food always tastes better. What are you doing?
And as you can see, I am making a fresh homemade beef stew. Meanwhile, he's adding another can to the crock pot.
Like I said, he went a different direction. He wanted to take time to bring all that, cut it up, put it in there. Well, I didn't. That means he also had to bring a small cooler. And there's a funny story to what he just said. He said he's going to add another can to the crock pot. So if you want to go back in time, about 15, 16 years ago, we went to visit my grandfather. And he was married to a lady at the time, and they were living in Alabama. I can't remember the name of the little town, but it was just on the other side of Scottsboro, Alabama. So they knew we were coming, so she said that, she'd go ahead and cook and have lunch ready. Well, we got there and walked in, and he said, hey, it's perfect timing. He said, the food's ready and it's hot. So we go in there, and she's got a crock pot sitting in there cooking, and she said that she made homemade beef stew. Well, I can tell you from the smell of it, I grew up around Denny Moore beef stew. It's fast, it's easy, it's cheap, right? Well, we knew as soon as we smelled it what it was. So we didn't say anything. We just went ahead and fixed some bowls and sit down to eat. Well, my grandfather goes in there and he looks, he comes back in there, and he looks at her. Her name was Geneva. He looks at her and he said, Geneva, you need to go add another can or two to the crock pot. It's getting kind of low. Well, at that point, JD couldn't help himself. He busted out laughing. He said, crock pot, yep, that ain't homemade. So anyway, that's what his remark was to just a second ago. So, but, while he's playing with the fire and hadn't even got his food started, mine's already hot. So I'm going to cut this off, sit down and eat. I'll see you in a few minutes. Okay guys, remember me telling you that there was no water in the campsites. So if you were wondering how we clean up our dishes afterwards, I'm about, 60 yards from the campsite. And here's the water I was telling you about. They have them ever so far around through here. I don't know, maybe every 300 foot. Bring it up, water comes out. Pretty simple design. Just make sure you bring something to wash with. So, got a little Dawn dishwashing liquid in here. And it cuts itself off automatically too. So, that way if you forget, it'll do it. But anyway, let's clean up, because I've already ate. While JD's still over there cooking his stew. Mine was ready in 3 minutes. I've already ate, kicked back, relaxed, and I'm watching him still cook. Now, if you're worried about getting wet, then you're in trouble, because this is a little bit messy. That water goes everywhere. But, hey, when you're camping, you do what you got to do, right? Okay. Cook pot, clean. Spoon clean. So now, only thing left to do, carry this back over to the table, turn it upside down, and let it dry. I brought a small terry cloth to set this stuff on to let it dry. Doesn't take up any space, lightweight, really absorbent. So let's do that, and then I'm going to get some coffee on, and we'll be back in a few. Before we get to the coffee, so I just have walked back into the campsite, and as you can see, JD's cooking his stew on the fire tonight. So if you see the little pile of wood on the right hand side, believe it or not, he brought all of that in his hard bags on his Road Glide. And what's on the left right here that you can see is just barely in the bottom of the frame was actually a dead piece of wood that we found here at the campsite that we cut up. Now I'm not too sure how this is going to work out for him, because that little stool that he's sitting on, that he's leaning forward, years ago he was sitting on one like it, and that thing gave way and he collapsed. And it was a sight to see, let me tell you. If it happens right now, he's about to go face first into the stew. So let's hope that doesn't happen. And you got a little bit different angle here too than what we had earlier. You can see over there where his tent's at. And then slightly to the left there, let me adjust this. And that opening, if you look, you can see now that that tree limb that was hanging down is gone. We've already got that cut back. And we got a clear walk back to the creek that we'll go back there. Oh, either here in a little bit or in the morning. Probably in the morning as it's starting to get a little dark now. So, be back in a minute when I get the coffee going.
Still got my stew going, playing with the fire, relaxing. Got the trail down to the creek cleaned up a little bit earlier. Here, maybe I'd say another 45 minutes. I'm going to be trying that little bitty electric lantern that I picked up from Walmart. First time using an electric lantern. Most of the time I use the propane lanterns. But takes up less space on the bike. Didn't really have to worry about bringing a whole lot of fuel canisters. And it's supposed to be able to recharge with the solar panel on top of it. So I believe tomorrow morning you'll get to find out whether I paid 40 bucks for something that's useful that you could, throw in your kit, or if I spent 40 bucks on a piece of shit.
And you never know. I brought 2 small lanterns, and that's all I'm using. But as you can see in the background, you can see the bikes. So everything that we loaded in here, we loaded in on those 2 bikes, including the chair I'm sitting in. I'm sitting in a folding chair with a little side table on it. I had to get creative whenever I was doing that to get it all on there. So we had things strapped on, bungee corded on, and zip tied on. But hey, it worked, it stayed on, and it made it here. And we'll get a shot tomorrow before we head out of everything mounted back on there again. But anyway, let me give just a second here. Like I said, I was about to get some coffee going, and we'll come back in just a minute. Okay, guys, we're back. It's getting dark. Not going to be able to shoot a whole lot more tonight. But I was talking about the chair. There's the chair that I had packed out onto the bike. And the reason for it, I'm old, I'm fat, I got bad knees, bad back, and I need something that's somewhat comfortable to sit in. It's getting dark. I've only got one little LED light that's set up on the camera set up there. Like I said, very first show ever. It's going. We're doing it, try to do it in clips, and then we're going to put it together because we just don't have the setup to film multiple things at one time, or really to get both of us in the same scene. If we got one of us in it, the other one's behind it trying to watch it. In the morning when we're doing breakfast, we'll see if we can't get some in there. It's been kind of interesting because we're shooting 2 shows at one time. We're shooting, of course, McCormick Outdoors here, and we're also shooting scenes for the show that JD's got, which is, well, you just burned yourself?
Yeah.
Which is Bug Out Baggers. And y'all missed it, just back behind you. He was adding another log to the fire. When he did, it shot up and got him. Anyway, I got the coffee going on. So after I get some coffee in me, it's getting dark. We'll come back one more time after we do that on the other show. And we'll show the lanterns that he's got. He went and bought a $40 solar charge lantern. Where normally for stuff, when we're camping, we use propane lanterns. And I brought 2 little small battery lanterns, one to use on the table out here, and the other one in the little tent, which will be really interesting anyway because there's no room in that tent. Can't even fart sideways in there. Just trying to get in and out of it's going to be interesting. But we had a little thing, about 30 minutes ago. On the other side of the campground over there is a little area where people can pull up and park, and there's a pavilion up here. There's a bunch of kids out there playing, and I guess somebody was ready to go home because they started laying down on the doggone horn. And for 20 minutes they was laying down on the horn, and somebody else started laying down on the horn, and it got a little bit annoying. And it went from being annoying to almost being funny because we was wondering if their batteries were going to run out on them before they ever left because they were doing it so much. But anyway, I'm gonna have me a cup of coffee here in a minute and Then another 20-30 minutes or so, it's going to be dark enough to check out these lanterns and see how they're doing. JD is wandering down the road right now, shooting a clip for his channel. His stew's over here boiling away. It's been almost an hour now, and I've already ate, washed my pot, and have been relaxing while his is still cooking. So, I mean, you can bring your food on a trip like this, you can eat good like he's going to be doing, or you can do like I done and bring something simple, heat it, eat it, and be done with it. You know, that's the nice thing about these camping trips. There is no rules. You do whatever you want. And especially if you're doing them like we're doing them, it was just to see what we could pack onto the bikes. You know, basically, if we could stick it on the bike, we decided to bring it. We didn't go crazy with anything. Like I said, I brought a chair. You know, it's just easier on me and my back and my knees. I also brought one of these little garden kneeling things over here, because with the knees so bad, it's hard for me to get up and down. So one of my biggest things was not knowing if I'd be able to get up in the morning, because I know I'm going to be stiff as hell whenever I get off that air mattress in the morning. So at least I got something over here that I can push up and get out with. I'll leave it sitting on the outside of the tent. But it's getting dark. Crickets and the frogs are out. They're starting to chirp. And there's a little bit of a nip to the air now. It's supposed to get down to about 60 tonight. And we're way out in the middle of nowhere where we're at down here. It's about a 40-minute drive just to get back to the nearest gas station. And if you go left or right, you're heading even further into the country. One way is going to take you way out in the middle of nowhere and come in on the back side of Subligna. And if you go the other way, you're going to go across a little mountain and come down, and it's going to bring you out on the back side of Calhoun. We might be heading that way before long. Won't be doing it for this show here, but there's an outside gun range there that we go to that I really like. It's affordable, and you get there early, that way you get a good spot. And it runs from the left-hand side is rifle range, and then going all the way up to the far right-hand side is pistol range. And you shoot till somebody, you know, calls it, and then go out there, get your targets, bring them back in, check them, and wait till it's called to go hot again. And it's only $5 the last time we went. Of course, it might have went up. Everything's going up right now. It might have went to 10. It's part of a state park. But where else can you go and spend that little and actually get some quality target practice in? And, you know, we like to do that. You know, that's one of the things that we enjoy. Anything to do with outdoors, you know, camping, fishing, hunting. You know, we've done a little bit of everything. We used to do this here a lot. It's been, I guess, 12 years the last time that we done any motorcycle camping though. Matter of fact, both of us had different bikes back then than what we got now. We've changed out. With my knees, I had to go with something, you know, a little bit easier on my knees. And JD swapped out and went from a cruiser to a bagger. We'll see some of those before long too. There's 3 bikes at the house. We've got mine, got his road. Got a Road Glide sitting there, and also got an Ultra sitting at the house, and he's got a 70 model, 72, 73 Ironhead that he's in the process of restoring, that he's going to sell whenever he gets done. And you'll get to see it on his other channel. Mosquitoes are starting to come out, the Bug Out Baggers. But anyway, my coffee water is about ready, so we're gonna kill the camera for a little bit, and we're gonna drink a little bit of coffee, and about another, I don't know, 20-30 minutes, we're gonna see if these lanterns are any good at all. So, see you in a few, one last time before we call it a night. Welcome back. Well, it's the next morning, and let me tell you, it was a long, rough night. I made a couple of mistakes. The tent that I got, I bought it just to fit on the motorcycle. It was way too small. So to say that I was packed in there, I was packed in there really bad. By the time I got the air mattress in there and got me in there, my feet was pushing out on one end of the tent and my head was pushing out on the other end. Very uncomfortable. I might have got an hour's worth of sleep last night. Finally, at about 4 a.m., I gave up on it, come outside, was sitting in a chair. It got pretty cool here last night, so got chilly doing that. Wound up going back into the tent and staying in there till about 6:30, and coming out, getting the fire going. Had a little breakfast. We've got camp broke down now, and JD's already headed up to the bridges to start filming his part of his show up there. So I promised I would carry down to the creek right here we were at. So we're going to do that real fast. So I'm going to show you before we do that. Oh, let me get this right here. Before we do that, I'm going to show you the bike and how I've got everything on here real fast though. So if you take a look, and when I say I've got it loaded down, it's loaded down. So both packs, both sides loaded. So the camp chair right here, that kneeling pad right here, and they are zip tied. Okay. Then I had to get them a little more secure, so they're bungeed to my main back bags here. And then once I got everything on, said and done, I realized I had one problem. We forgot to take the coffee pot and put it anywhere, and we were out of space. So now the coffee pot rests right there. But anyway, let's take a walk down here real fast. We'll look at the creek, and I'm going to pause you here for a second. I had to get you spun around so you could see the angle that we're going here. So right here is where he was set up at last night. Here's a table. I was set up over there behind it. Fire pit's here. My bike's back over there. Like I said, he's already headed down the road. So we'll catch up with him in a minute. So let's walk back here to the creek. Now last time we were here, all these limbs in here stuff, they wasn't here. There's a reason for that. Since the last time, that tree right there fell. We'll get a better look at it in just a second. Okay, we're coming up on the creek now. Take a look at this. It goes way down there and then cuts back around that way. This is one of the widest spots in it. That's about 30 foot across right there. And it's a little over waist deep right here in the deepest part. And as you can see, this is spring fed. That is crystal clear. I can't tell how well it's coming through on the camera. But you can see straight through to the bottom of it. See the leaves and everything else in it. A couple little fish swimming. But this is that tree. Look at that root ball. It landed in the other tree. Right there's camp. This is a massive tree. We had some really good winds a few days ago. I'm guessing that's what brought this down, because we were up here a week ago and it wasn't like this. So anyway, I'm going to go over here and jump on the bike, and we're going to head right up that way and be back in a minute. Okay, so this is the last stop before we head back out. This is just a little ways up from where we're camping at. This is the picnic area. So on the weekends, during the summer, there's going to be a lot of people out here, a lot of kids that come to play, picnic, and just enjoy, as well as camp. And it's a nice open area. There's trash cans over here, picnic table there, back over here. You can see grill set up, and then back around through here. And remember the creek that I showed you, where we were at, down in the wilderness area. Well, this right here is part of it. You can see it's blocked off on the sides. It's kind of shallow. It's good for the kids. And then right over here, you got walking bridges going over that way. And then you got, let me see if I can zoom in a little bit for you. Got another picnic table over there. And right there, if you can hear the water running, that's a spring. It's got a rock well house over it. It comes out right there. It runs down and it meets this one. And then back over here through the woods, there's more of the old wooden bridges. And it goes back into more campgrounds going back that way. Now looking back up through here, you can see where we was at just a minute ago. And give me a second and we'll walk back up here. Okay, we're back up here. As you can see in the background right there, that's the bathrooms. You can see JD over here. He's already finished his up and getting ready to head out. So on that, we're going to end it and we're going to head home. I'm tired and ready for some sleep. Have a good one. Until next time, stay happy, stay healthy, and get outdoors and do something.